CMT. Maybe. Would have been better if the EP happened here when it came off the big base here, but yeah, it's a secondary EP. It had a first EP here. Could work, but in this market, I don't know. Remember, the indices are in downtrends, right? Remember, the 10 and 20. Are they trending up? Are they trending down? Is the price above them or below them? Right now, it's not a really great time to buy stuff, generally. Tesla took down 47%. Down 90% from the highs. Nice. This is where stage analysis would have been handy. Don't hold stocks in stage 4. You never know how low they can go. And in stage 2, you never know how high they can go. What's my target for my Tesla short? Whatever price target Jim Chanos has on it. Like, I try not to think too much on my own. I just feel like I'm more profitable the less I think. And everything all my concepts I borrowed from others. So I may as well borrow my price targets too. I get so much more energy and brain power for other stuff that are not market or related. It's just a win-win. I think the biggest problem people make is they think too much. You really should think less. You should just have solid rules, solid setups, and just think less. And you'll be so much more profitable. Exactly, apes always existed. If you read reminiscences, the apes were in the boiler rooms. No, not the boiler rooms. What were they called? When they traded these fake, they didn't even trade the market. Like in the market, they just traded the price. Bucket shops, exactly, bucket shops. Those were the apes 120, 130 years ago. Livermore traded with the apes, literally, in those bucket shops. Nothing new, it's just the same thing all over again. Just the game is the same, just the tickers are different, and the players are different. If you learn the game, you're set for life. Your children will be set for life, your grandchildren will be set for life, and depends how retarded you are, maybe even more generations will be set for life. It's all about you. If you learn the game, you'll realize just the same thing over and over again. So I also sized down ARC K, which is now gapping up to yesterday's highs, and I sold ARC G completely. So I got rid of some long exposure, but you know, that's something you gotta do. If things don't act perfectly, if you're a margin and things don't act perfectly, you gotta size down. Otherwise you will blow up sooner or later. That's the key, trading on margin. Very important. You closed all positions yesterday. Why did you do that? Did they stop you out? Because riots made everything dip? Yeah, but that wasn't my question. My question is, did you get stopped out? You just got schooled. You just took your first steps toward realizing you should ignore the news. The news is entertainment, okay? Many of you just learned the lesson the hard way. Like, this is why I don't recommend options to beginners. There's just so many things that can go wrong. You want as few moving parts as possible. That's ideal. Unless you're like really smart and like really smart, but very few people are truly smart. Like truly smart. Very few people are. I am not. The problem is a lot of people think they're smart, but they're really not. They may have some, you know, knowledge, but that's not the same thing as being smart. And putting together all these moving parts. I think very few people are truly smart. And that's the good thing. You don't need to be truly smart to be successful trader. You really don't. That's the great. That was my point. I was gonna say you really don't need to be. No, truly. I mean, trading, like you don't have to do a lot of advanced and smart things in the markets. It's success in markets is more about not doing a lot of dumb things, avoiding the dumb stuff. I truly think that every year I try to do less of the things that don't work. When do you think it's acceptable to add more funds to your trading account? I think if you've been consistent and following rules and also growing your account, that's when I think you can add money to your account slowly. But if you have problems not taking losses, even though you get stopped out, if you have these basic things you're not able to do, you shouldn't add money to your trading account. But if you have no problems taking losses, if you trade good setups, you follow the rules, then you can add slowly. Maybe not all the 30K at once, but maybe 5,000 a month or something, 10,000 a month, as long as you're growing your account and most importantly just following the rules and have good money position management, etc., i.e. not going all in one stock. You need help with scaling up? Yeah, or you could choose to not add to your account, just let it grow organically. You double it, and then you double it again, and then you double it again, and in 5 years you're gonna have 10 million in your account. That's what happened to me. And then you're gonna have 20, and then 40, and just double. But it's easier said than done, but it can be done. If you have a good setup, if you have sound money management, you're gonna do it. Just need to study those damn setups. Are you at? Yeah, I'm at peak equity right now. Guys, do you know what happens at peak equity? Do you know what always happens when you get to a peak equity? Sooner or later, you're gonna have a drawdown. You never stay at peak equity for long. As a trader, you're gonna spend. This is actually one thing I got from Peter Brandt on his blog. He explained it really nicely. I never thought about it before, but even the most successful traders, investors, are gonna be in a drawdown most of the time. Like even this year, even though I'm up at least 500%, I haven't checked it exactly, but it could be 600-700, maybe not 700, it could be 600%. I've spent at least half of the year in a drawdown, at least. So expecting to be like peak equity all the time, it's just not gonna happen. You're gonna spend most of your time in a drawdown, even on a really good year. That's just how it works. You just need to realize it, and you need to accept it. And even look at something like Amazon, which is one of the most amazing stocks, which is one of the best stocks like ever, history of the world. It's up what? 200,000% since the IPO. 200,000%. Now look at the amount of time it's been in a drawdown. Okay, it was in a drawdown here. Wait, why can't I see? Yeah, okay, there was in a drawdown. Look at this thing. Look at this. It was in a drawdown for what? 10 years, right? So here was a drawdown for a few months. Here was in a drawdown for 10 years. Here it was in a drawdown for about a year. Another year. Another maybe year. Maybe a bit longer. I don't know. This is like what? 2 years. So since 97, that's 23 years. So here was what, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 15 years. So out of the 23 years it's been public, it was in a drawdown for 15 years. Look at Netflix, same thing here. This one I actually showed you guys. Like even if you start counting from here, at the lows from 2012, it's been pretty much straight up. But even if you start counting from there, the stock is up, what? 6,500 or 7,000, well, yeah, 6,500%. It was in a drawdown here for about, what? A year? Another year, and here it was about a year and a half. So 1, 2, 3.5 years out of, let's say, late 2012 to late, so 8 years. Out of 8 years, it was been in a drawdown almost half of the time. And this is an extreme example. I'm cherry picking from the lows here, from after the drawdown before that. So, you know, nothing goes straight up. You're gonna be spending, and these are just, you know, examples of stocks, but this is what happens no matter what, if you're an investor or a trader or whatever. Being in a drawdown is the normal. It's not an anomaly. It's normal. Now the question is, how big of a drawdown are you gonna be in? Obviously, you should. Like I try to limit my drawdowns to 10-15%, but you know, sometimes they become more severe than that. So drawdowns, you know, it's the nature of the game. If you want to have big returns, you are gonna have drawdowns. Because if you don't have drawdowns, means you don't take any risk. And if you don't take any risk, you won't have any returns.